Oh my goodness, there is no shortage of this type of news. Now, we are living in a time, like I've said before, of a great awakening, a great exposure, and people are going to wake up and they're going to choose to want to believe it or not. Or if they are on the fence, they're skeptical, then you have to do some due diligence, some research, and then you have to figure it out for yourself and basically come to your own conclusion. And what's happening right now is that more and more people are connecting the dots because there are certain people on the inside coming out and giving their deets, giving the inside scoop to be able to make your own judgment based on their testimony of what they believe and what they have seen, they've claimed to have witnessed or experienced. And so right now, in this title, I mentioned two things. There's going to be three things I just want to quickly give some recap on. There's a ton more. If you follow, and I'm sure with my audience here, you guys don't follow a lot of the Hollywood entertainment and that kind of media stuff, and that's fine. But what's happening as a pattern is that the young people, or even if you're not young, you are in the world in some sense, whether you're a Christian or not, you follow the gossip, the news, the drama, and you're realizing that there is a great awakening, meaning that in the comment section, people making videos, other people talking about this topic, and there's a even harder sort of quelching of this, a juxtaposition against the people that want it silent, they want to censor it, and then the other people that are speaking louder about it and saying genuinely, this is what I experienced. And because in some sense there's a naiveness to the young generation, the people like Ryan Garcia and some of the other guys, they say it matter of fact, like, hey, they took me to this place, they tried to initiate me, they tried to do this, they tried to groom me, and all these other illegal words that I can't use, otherwise I get censored. They say all these things, and even recently, Ryan Garcia, and before this, Cat Williams and others have been exposing this. There's a ton of people doing this, but let me just show you a quick clip. This is talking about what a lot of us know in the biblical realm or in the world, or if you want to say conspiracy, that there's an Ark of the Covenant that actually still exists. And the Ark of the Covenant, when Jesus died, and many of you guys know this as well, studying end times, eschatology, as well as biblical archaeological findings, that the Ark of the Covenant was found beneath the site where Jesus was crucified. And this claim is associated most often with Ron Wyatt, an amateur archaeologist who asserted that he discovered the Ark in a chamber beneath the Golgotha, the site where it's recognized that Jesus was crucified. And so there's this idea that basically once, and this is according to biblical scripture and prophecy, that Jesus, when he dies, and you can look this up yourself. I haven't done the study, or I haven't prepared it. In fact, I've done the study before. But basically, it states that in the Bible that his blood will literally be on the Ark of the Covenant. And when the temple was torn in two, and it was that he was crucified, the blood seeped down because he was poked, right? And that blood seeped down onto the actual Ark of the Covenant, and it was found that his blood is still alive to this day. So it's living blood. Like literally, if you think about what Jesus did for us, he died and rose again, and he is basically, his atonement, his blood sacrifice is our only way in this time period, in the age of grace, in the church age, that we can be reconciled back to the Father. And this is the whole gospel message. This is the salvation message we know of today. This is actually literal in some sense, in that the blood is still alive today. And I'm not saying where it is, what it is, but Ryan Garcia and many others have claimed that the Vatican is who holds it right now, underneath the catacombs or the dungeons or the under places of the Vatican, that the Ark of the Covenant was found. So let me just show you a quick clip.
Everybody always says I'm lying. I was in the Vatican just like anybody else. People started crowding me in the Vatican. One of the security, or I guess one of the higher ups in the Vatican noticed. I said, I need some help. There's a lot of people crowding me. They let me in the back room. They liked my personality, so they start showing me everything. The robes, the jewels, the gifts. I mean, I had access to a lot of things. That's because of God. God did, not me. And I'm not like, what am I going to cap for?
And address the BB thing, bro.
Another thing, everybody, again, I went to Israel, and everybody obviously took fond of me, and then they invited me to hang out. And then guess what? BB hits up one of his assistants or handlers or whatnot and asks for a meeting. Can you bring it?
All right. So here's the proof. We were in Israel in June, and BB one of Bibi's boys texted me. He said, "Hey, brother, good morning. I spoke with the Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu. He would like to meet Ryan." Facts right here. Y'all can screenshot it. I don't know if y'all can see it.
Screenshot it.
That's facts. So for all y'all saying he's crazy for that, this actually happened. And guess what he said?
So, that's why, and I said no.
Yes, that's fact.
So I'm going to stop it there, but basically he goes on to talk about a lot of different things. You can see the thing you want. It's on YouTube right now for some reason. Talks about the Bohemian Grove. He talks about the other stuff that I can't talk about right now with regards to what they harvest and the scaring the kids and all that stuff. But basically, he talks a lot of stuff that others, like Cat Williams and many people, have talked about. And what this is saying, and there's others that have said, you know, I've talked before about how Jan Halper Hayes has talked about the gold and how many like hundreds of planes were needed to bring all the gold back from the Vatican, and that there's a lot of secretiveness behind who's controlling what and what people have. And that if this was known to the public and officially reported, that it would be mayhem because they need to keep certain things secret. And so the realistic possibility that certain artifacts still exist right now that are of biblical significance or of in the age of antiquity, just all of that stuff, I wouldn't doubt that some of the stuff exists and somebody's keeping it hidden in some archive somewhere underneath some important place of significance. And in this case, because this religion, and I talk about the Vatican and just what they represent, the R word and all that, they want to control religion. They are replacing things for which you can have direct access to the Lord with their own substitute. Confessional boxes, like priests, the Pope itself, and just all these things as a substitute to being intimate with the Lord. Now, I'm not saying that no Catholic is not a Christian. I'm not saying that. There are people that were saved and they knew God from going through the Catholic system, but they were awakened to and brought out of the religious mentality and shown the true gospel of Christ. And then separately, we had the Oscars yesterday. And what's crazy right now is that more and more people are talking about and commenting on certain rituals because once they see it, they understand what it is and they can recognize it because people have been doing their due diligence. They've been giving the message and telling people what's actually happening. And so if you study this stuff, you know exactly what each thing is and what it represents, symbolism, their signs, and all of the stuff that they're doing. One of the major ones is if you see something like this, it may be a humiliation ritual. And so let's take a look at what Cat Williams and some of the examples that they give here.
To an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us, and decisions had to be made. Kevin told you he wasn't gonna wear no dress until they offered him the dress, and then he put it on. And what did he say after he wore it? I made my own decision. Duh. But you didn't make it before they brought it up, did you? It's okay.
Want to practice our time?
Oh, hit it.
Costumes.
And I want to apologize even for showing something so overt like that. But the point here is that for educational purposes, you're seeing what people are doing in the open, what people are brushing off as, oh, haha, it's just a joke. It's nothing. They're just doing some stupid stuff. But rather that it could be some form of punishment, some form of initiation if they want to get to the next level. People are saying that you have to do you have to pay a certain price to be able to get there. And this is whatever the reason here is that this is happening. It's getting more and more obvious in some sense if you're able to see the signs. And others, they will still want to not believe it. And I'm not saying that every one of these is exactly a humiliation ritual and that somebody had ordained this. But what I'm saying here is that with the discussion of the Bohemian, that thing, as well as many other things, people are coming out. And if you understand scripture with regards to what Satan wants and what the demonic influence is, then you would understand that in modern day society, this would be no different. Now, let's also talk about other things. A lot of people in Europe talking about this conspiracy, right? A lot more normal people are opening themselves up to the idea of, man, this could be a crazy conspiracy. One of the discussions happening right now is that Kate Middleton is right now not been seen for many weeks now. And people say that, oh, like, with her surgery, abdominal surgery or whatever, and it's been like 3-4 weeks or something like that. And most people, if you are a nurse or a doctor or whoever with your experience in surgery, especially abdominal surgery, you're not going to sit in the hospital quiet for a very long time. And so I'm showing you basically parts of tweets that a lot of people are showing, which is that the AP, and I'll give you the quick story. The AP published this photo, which came from a official palace source. It comes from literally the palace, right? And so they had no doubt, or they had no reason to doubt the AP of publishing this. And then just like moments after, this was yesterday at the time of this recording, but I think within a day, they retracted it. And it's very hard for them, for the AP, to give a kill notification to say, hey, we no longer advise having this published. And many other major news outlets have said the same thing. And so to retract this means that they're casting a lot of doubt on this official photo being a real photo because it was doctored. So there's a lot of Photoshop editing. Basically, the ring is missing and just so many other things. And people are talking about this. And then just like a day or two later, or the next day, today, I believe, they talk about how this person from the Kensington Royal says that, like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing. I want to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused. I hope everyone celebrating had a good Mother's Day. Now, what you have to understand here is that it's not only is their PR bad, like what they're basically admitting to is that, yes, we messed up. Yes, this is what our official statement is, that we, it has a little oopsie. But the reason that the conspiracy is getting so wild is that, where is this girl? Like, they could just have at least done their best to take a photo of her and her family without having all this controversy to just quiet the rumors. But now, the longer that there is silence, the longer it's going to be like an explosion of, after 2 months, right? After 3 months, she just comes out like, voila, right? And then it's like, has she been replaced? Like, there's so many different things out there. Has she been replaced? Clone things and just so many, like, whatever is happening, it's stirring up this pot unnecessarily. And from a PR perspective for the royal family, this is the least thing that you want from this situation. And this is what's happening because a lot of people are no longer just like sheep taking their word and saying, oh, well, she's probably recovering or this and that. But the fact that somebody like Kate Middleton should be out there in the public facing realm, taking pictures, showcasing her family and just being all, lovely and all that stuff, it's not happening. Hasn't been happening for basically this whole year. And it's just like, what's going on, right? So these are the types of things that are cueing people to waking up, to questioning things. And again, the bigger movement of embracing what is basically conspiracy theory into conspiracy reality, because more and more people are waking up and understanding and connecting the dots to seeing what is going on. And so I want to give these 3 stories. There are many more, but this is what's sort of top of my mind and also what's in some sense trending across the world, or at least through this part of the Western world. But there are many other things, right? Haiti's going on, and if you want to investigate that, that's crazy. Like, what's happening there is crazy. There's many more things. The point is that all of what people say and what Q has said, what many have said, to be conspiracy and crazy stuff is really conspiracy reality, just that it's a little delayed. So just want to give you guys this quick word of encouragement. The point here is that it's not about this rumors and gossip and let's talk about all these people, but rather that they're being used, these people, these circumstances, the Oscars, the royal family, the famous people, all these people are being used to expose what is underneath. And God is going to show people through whatever they are fixated on. And in this case, the young generation, many other people, on entertainment, arts, and media and all this stuff. And then they're going to use that as a fulcrum, as a catalyst to waking up and seeing God through all of this. And then asking questions and saying, what is really the truth? Because the truth will set you free, not only in knowing Christ and God, but also when you are being lied to, you're being deceived and manipulated, and you have a choice. That's why there's such a strong dichotomy of pitting this side versus that side, or the truth seekers, the digital soldiers, the Anons, versus the other people that are on the left or woke, or even if you're not on that side, you're on the side of, okay, maybe there is something with regards to trying to figure out what's really going on, because people have been lying to us for such a long time. So this is the movement that's happening right now. Be encouraged. Love you guys. If you want to support me, chrishuhnstore.com. I'm going to be shipping out very shortly. I'm also still open to the donations, the GoFundMe, the Give Send Go. I'm trying to reach my goal, guys. Would love it if you guys would support me. Talk to you guys very soon.